like to thank the grace of heaven, virtues of masters, the mercy of our grand predecessors, all transmitters, and everyone in this class for giving me this opportunity to learn to speak in this class on benefits of establishing a Tao temple. Our holy teacher explains that 10 most important reasons for establishing a Tao temple is this is a place where we introduce heaven to others. In other words, we bring people to the temple, so we introduce the Tao to them. And this is where they can receive that 1 point of transmission from our enlightening master, Jigong Buddha. The second important reason is this is an administration center for the three worlds. Three worlds meaning temporal heaven, the earthly world, and the underworld. Okay? So third is a place where we can improve ourselves by learning Buddha's teachings. So a temple serves as a place for all of us to gather together to learn the teachings of the Buddha, such as today's class and also the Dharma classes that we have last week. Now, in the May Dharma class, we have Buddha visitations that channel through a talent's body to talk to us like a human being is talking to us, to teach us how to return to heaven. And the Buddhas will also leave a lot of sutras, scriptures, and songs for us to study from. It is also a place to cultivate Tao before attaining Buddhahood. We can cultivate ourselves better in a temple than in the outside world. A temple can constantly remind ourselves to be righteous and discipline ourselves. Chances of deviating from the Tao are less likely. It is also a gas station where we can fill up gas. That's the Buddha's teachings, okay? Tao sharing, spiritual inspiration to reach to heaven. So classes such as the Sunday class, we can all learn from each other, get inspiration from others through our class discussions, especially from Buddha's teaching, so we can follow the ways of the Buddhas. It is a place where the souls of sentient beings can be saved. Temples serve as a place to save all sentient beings, not only from this earthly realm, but also from devas from the temporal heaven and spirits from the underworld can be uplifted, okay, when we ourselves have earned enough merits to uplift them to absolute heaven. This is a place where a vast school to nourish virtue and character. A temple is an enormous school for all of us to nourish our virtues and our character. This way we can all improve ourselves. A blessed place to get away from calamities. When calamities hit, a temple and those in it will be protected. A joyful place of saintly spirits and Buddhas. Buddhas will always be in a temple. We can absorb the good energies from the Buddhas when we are in the temple. And lastly, a pure and clean land where we can get rid of false thoughts. A place where we can maintain our purity and stillness, where we can get rid of our bad thoughts. Okay? Therefore, a temple plays a remarkable important role in the process of our Tao cultivation. The three functions of a heavenly temple. The function of transmitting Tao. A temple is like a boat of truth, which ferries numerous sentient beings to the bright and tranquil shore. Although not every temple has a beautiful or impressive appearance, everyone is bestowed with the heavenly decree. Each temple is solemn, sacred, and spiritually decreed. We do not judge a temple by its size or its appearance. Each temple is God's home, and there is no difference. Whether it is a public temple, such as this, or a private home temple, there is no difference. A temple is still God's home. By using the heavenly temple under the fortunate protection of our holy teachers, our 18th patriarch and our 18th matriarch, the sentient being who has affinity with the Buddhas can receive this Tao. Okay, so this was not easily passed in ancient times. In ancient times, one has to cultivate very well to prove that they are worthy enough in order for God to send a Buddha to give them that one point of transmission. But now we are in this white period that all those who have affinities with the saints and Buddhas can receive this Tao. Okay, so we in the old days we had to cultivate but first and then receive the blessing. Today we receive the blessing first and then cultivate. Okay, because God is very merciful. This is the white period and time is of the essence. So God says, let them receive this blessing first and then cultivate. See the difference? Okay.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Okay, people need to accumulate 3,000 big merits and 800 good consequences. The result, then God, Buddha will send somebody to open the gate for them to receive the three treasures. So it's very hard. So all days only a few, one master to the other master, one son. That's it. So then we are lucky now. We can cultivate first, then accumulate enough merits later on. That's a special period at this moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear Charles. Then the second function of a Tao temple is the function of teaching. At the temple, we are influenced and reformed by our virtuous 18th patriarch and our 18th matriarch. They moved and inspired. We can get moved and inspired by our seniors. We are able to have study classes in which we talk about morality, benevolence, righteousness, and the meaning of life. Therefore, many sentient beings are reborn and turn over a new leaf. They find the dignity and the direction of their life. They are able to discover their inner wisdom. They not only benefit their families, but they also benefit society. Furthermore, they follow the examples of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to guide us to realize the ultimate truth and to attain Buddhahood. And thirdly, the function of cultivation. In the temple, all Tao brothers and sisters gather together to practice Tao like we are today. We share what we have learned in our daily life and apply it in our words and in our actions. Okay? We encourage and strengthen one another in our faith. We advise and urge one another to act in all goodness so that we will have noble characters. From the inside out, we can all be sincere, be harmonious, and gentle in appearance and tone of voice. We all aspire to set a good example and be good enough to represent this preciousness of Tao. On the other hand, the activities and events held at the temple provide good opportunities for us as cultivators of Tao to accumulate merits and virtues. The qualities of patience, caring, and perseverance can be nourished at the temple. Tolerance can be broadened naturally. So cultivators from different backgrounds will become better in temperament. Okay, their thoughts, concepts, habits, and perceptions of value will become righteous as well. All of us will merge in the same goal, have the same heart, and we will all be joyful in practicing our cultivation. The advantages of establishing a temple. It is a great place to worship all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, saints, and sages. In the temple, we often have a duty to worship God and the Buddhas. While worshiping, we can feel and learn from the spirit of their unconditional mercy, compassion, joy, and giving. and cultivate the habit of giving priority to others out of courtesy and humility. We think of others before we think of ourselves. We let go of the ego. In the process of worshiping, we can purify our bodies, our words, and purify our minds. At the same time, wandering thoughts and irrational actions of the heart will be tamed and conquered, and our cultivation will benefit a great deal from it. A temple provides a convenient way to embrace all sentient beings. There's a saying, before starting the practice of cultivating Buddhahood, build up a good relationship with people. When the temple is established, the temple host will sincerely receive the people, hold all kinds of activities, and therefore create many opportunities to serve other people. The frequency with which people interact give many chances to encourage them to receive that. Some people hold back in establishing a temple. Some people think, oh, my home is my private domain. I don't want strangers to come into my home. A lot of people think like that. So, in other words, they don't want to set up a temple because of that reason. However, if there's a way, if there's a will, there is a way. In other words, if we are afraid to bring strangers to our home, what we can do is, when we have strangers, we bring them into this temple, a public temple, okay, to receive the blessing. So with our home temple, we can have our family and our friends, okay, if it makes one feel more comfortable. Okay, so this should not be a setback in holding one to establish a temple at home. It is a good training center to cultivate talented people. New Dao members will be invited to join the Dharma class like last week. Then on the 1st and the 15th of the lunar calendar of each month, we have also activities in the temple. We have people coming into the temple to cook for us. We can come in for a free vegetarian lunch, learn some proprieties in the temple, okay, and learn how to recite sutras. And also, other times we have study classes at maybe some special Thanksgiving activity or Christmas, or the Chinese New Year under the lunar calendar. We always have special lunches here. And also we can gather together to sing Buddha songs. You know, the lyrics are from the Buddhas. So all that lyric for each song, there is a lot of meaning and principles right in the songs. Okay, so don't just think it's just any song. It's not any song. It is Buddha songs from heaven that's given to us in this earthly realm to study and to sing. Okay, so this way we can learn more about the Tao and strengthen our foundation in cultivation. We can gradually practice and learn all the details about the affairs of the temple, okay? We can also familiarize with temple etiquette and how to coordinate all the details in Tao receiving ceremonies. There are also special activities such as, certain picnics we have picnic times for picnic once a year or twice a year.
Yes, outside.
Okay.
In a park or something.
Yeah, you can bring your families or good friends that you want to introduce Tao to. So you are gathered at a very informal, a normal circumstance where people can enjoy an outdoor picnic with the Tao people, and they can naturally introduce the Tao to them. Okay.
That's good experience last time. Yeah, I think enjoyable.
I think you just had one a month.
Around a park.
Ah.
I think that was good.
Yeah, you had a good time. Guy went too.
Yeah.
I wasn't here, so I missed it.
That's beautiful.
Good, and there was a good weather
Yeah.
because it's not too cold. Now it's too cold.
Play with nice.
Yeah. So every year is in a different park. Sometimes they go to Bear Mountain. They go hiking. Other times they go. What other parks? I don't know what the parks you went to.
Further out.
Long Island, right? Yeah. Sometimes they have row boating.
Stick to the closer one.
Oh, okay. I guess you guys don't want to travel so far. Yeah. Okay. Then also in the temple, we can learn and teach to the beginners how to understand the meaning of donations, such as financial donation. Okay. If you look on the side, there is a red box over there. That is the donation box. We are not like the churches that pass around a paper bag every Sunday or a bowl, and everybody has to dig into their pocket for some form of a donation. We are not like that. We don't ask people for donations. Okay. However, in terms of financial donation, it is up to the individual person. Whatever we can give, even a quarter, if we can afford it. Okay. But if whatever comes out of our heart and mind, okay, the most important thing is that what? Sincerity in giving. Okay. So if a millionaire donates $10,000, okay, it's not as meaningful as one homeless person that donates a quarter. You get my point? It is from the sincerity of our heart and mind that is the utmost important. Okay, so what we give will be accumulated in heaven in our bank account. Remember when we first come and receive the Tao, we are asked for a merit contribution. At that time, that was the very beginning of opening up a bank account in heaven.
Who set out the rule?
Had God set up. It is not set by humans. Okay.
One
Guardian.
And the guardian of Guardian, okay, the guardian of law, okay. So they set it up, and it is just to show our sincerity in receiving this Tao. It is not so that we can collect money or to trick people into receiving this Tao, okay. It is just to, it is set by God, so we must follow that rule, okay. So what we give is up to the individual, and that is the merit fee that will be registered on Heaven's board along with our name, and that was the opening of our bank account. Whether we contribute to our bank account or not, after that is also up to the individual. Okay, of course. We don't think about, why would I give when I can use this money to go and enjoy a movie or to enjoy my nightlife, okay? Remember, what you give will be benefit not only yourself, but also 7 generations of ancestors above us and 9 generations of descendants below us. Okay, so some people are very, very generous, and yet some people are super money tight. So just do it naturally from the sincerity of our heart and mind.
It's based on our ability. Don't overdo.
Yeah, not to overdo. Okay, we're not like churches that require 15% of your income. We don't do that. We never ask. Yeah, 10% or 15. Is it 10% or 15?
Yeah, I was.
Some of them asked to see your taxes.
Really? Wow.
A couple of things here. I remember I was in Taiwan a couple years ago. There's one master transmitter, and he donated $500 million.
500 million?
5 million, sorry, 5 million.
Oh, 5 million.
With his parents' name. He didn't put his name to donate the money, okay? he put $5 million US. So in Taiwan, that's a lot of money.
Okay.
$150 million.
Wow.
In Taiwanese dollar. So US dollar would be
5 million.
But with his parents' name. So not in his name. He said he wanted to give the marriage to his parents.
Yeah, the purpose of doing that is to what? To be filial to your parents. Okay? He's donating in his parents' name. So they can benefit. If they're alive right now, they can benefit. Even if they're already in the wherever they are, they already passed on, they can also benefit from that $5 million.
That's
Okay, but when we donate, we try to donate while we are still alive. Okay, not to leave a will and say when I'm gone, all my money goes to the temple. Okay, that's not as meaningful. Donate while we are still in this earthly realm, not to leave a will for the temple to collect. Okay, it's not the merit is not
that's
as good.
fine, but if we can do now even better.
Yeah, while we are alive is better. Okay, yes, Jill.
Also, once we make that donation, we have to forget about it.
Yes, yes, yes. Some people keep thinking, some people would either, when they donate to the temple, they still think, I donated $10,000 to the temple. That is my donation. That is my money. Okay, think about it.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Okay, what's different? If we remember, we don't remember. What's different?
Big difference.
What's different?
Explain the difference, Jill.
Okay, from what I understand, is that if you want to keep it in your mind about how much you make that donation, in the future, you will get that particular amount back to you as a return.
Yes.
But if you forget about it, basically, it's gone to, I don't know how you, I guess, yeah, it's gone to somewhere else where it's combined with some other stuff where
I think
you
pretty much.
would, yeah, you wouldn't know how much that you're gonna get in return. Basically, you don't want to know. Just don't know, just forget about it.
And it doesn't matter what the temple uses it for in whatever department, whether it's to print books or to propagate the Tao or use in the electricity bill or the gas bill. It doesn't matter. Once we put it in the box, that belongs to the temple, no longer belong to us. And never remember, I donated how much.
And the majority, I think she said she's right. One thing, when we donate $5, we will remember that $5, it becomes our fortune. Okay, it means fortune means one day means one day will come back with us, almost the same amount will come back to us. This lifetime or future life. But once we don't remember, it will go to our Buddha nature, it becomes our
Virtues.
Okay, so that's unlimited. Okay, in that case, will be unlimited and will not be fortune. We don't want fortune. Fortune only return, so it will be unlimited, become part of ourselves.
Yes, Kai.
It's important because we don't want what we call 福报, right? which is because obviously we don't want 恶报 either. 恶报 is worse. But even if we say do good, and we retain that your way, right? We still have it's still conditioned or motive. The problem with that is, yes, we say, oh, 福报 is good, right? Because you get good fortune. But what's bad about it is there's a negative aspect. It forces us to reincarnate. That's the problem. See, the whole idea is you don't want to reincarnate. That's the whole idea, right? The whole idea of become a Buddha, you don't have to reincarnate. Oh, you're not forced to. I don't want to say you don't have to. You're not forced. We're not forced by karma, good or bad, to come down. We're not forced, right? Because that's law. The law applies equally to Buddhas too. Okay. So the whole idea is to not to have either good or bad karma to force us to come down to reincarnate. So if we don't have that, then we don't have to. We're not forced, but we could choose. You could choose. You have what's called 十自在. Woo! The 10 emancipations or liberations. No, that's in the list here, okay? But that's much more advanced. That means, as a Buddha, you have free will. Literally, you are empowered to decide when you want to come down, where you want to come down, what you want to be, what we want to be, etc., etc. Yeah, that's pretty darn good, right?
Like there's there's a story that I read, I heard Manjushri Bodhisattva or Buddha, there's one time that the Buddha wants him to feed the people, and all he got was that one small bowl. And other people saw it and was like, how is that going to feed everybody? How is that going to feed everyone? It's not going to be enough. Guess what? That's what you see. But really, it's more than enough to feed more than enough people that you can imagine. So that's what we're talking about.
And the other thing, we do good things, we don't need everybody else to know, okay? Because this becomes the hidden merits. That's better than even we do good things and then make announcement to everybody else. We don't need to do that because the merits on the boat between we do the merit, nobody knows, which is about 10 times of merits, which we make announcement. So that's why you see a lot of people donate it. They don't even put a name there. Some people, but God, Buddhas, they will.
Some people turn their head left, turn their head right, make sure nobody's looking. Then they bring out a whole bunch of money, they stash it in there. Okay.
The other thing besides money, we could do other things to donate. We come here to help clean the temple, as in the lecture. She always does that all the time. Come here sometimes weekday or the other days, or maybe Sunday, help clean the temple, do other things. So those are all donation too. It's besides financial help, we can do other things. And that, I don't have money. We can do other things to help. It doesn't have to be financially.
Anything we do for the temple is considered a merit. But do not think of it as a merit, because once we think of that thought, it no longer is our merit.
It's form.
Okay.
Form.
Right. So don't even think, just do it naturally. Think of this as your home. Whatever we do at home, we can do the same here. No different. Okay.
You do it because you want to.
And you want to do it. Okay.
Look at parents. Parents take care of the kids. When they take care of kids, what do? They just do it. They don't even think about one day what they're going to pay back to them. They never thought about it. They just do it. That's a parents' love. That's Buddha's love. They just know that's the right thing to do, to take care of kids. So that's Buddha. We need to have that kind of mindset. Just do it and not think about return it.
Right. And another form of donation is to talk to people and share with them about the stuff. Okay? Even if you talk to them and they don't agree to receive it, it is still a good deed. So whenever opportunity arises, we talk to the people about this stuff. Okay? Whether you have an affinity with a certain person or not, only, your own Buddha nature can tell. So if there's an opportunity, just bring up the Tao to them. Okay, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, but don't go on and on for an hour when you just met the person. They can't wait to get away from you. Okay, and chances of them to agree is like 0. Okay, so do it very discreetly and very gently. Don't force, never force. Okay, so this way you can establish a friendship. If not today, maybe tomorrow. Yes, Joe.
I was going to mention, actually, teaching somebody or talk about Dharma to people, that's the greatest.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
comparison.
Right. And you feel good about it. After you do a good deed, you feel good about it. So there are many ways to earn merits, not only one form, many different forms. Okay? So keep that in mind.
I always feel afraid to tell people about Tao. It's kind of we don't feel comfortable. But once we do it, Buddha next to us to help. He can feel the energy. Okay. Before I always hesitate. One time I was on the airplane to Taiwan. I told my wife Judy, said, "Don't sleep now. To know the people around us. So even you walk around, the people have to walk around the back." And then talk to them. Okay, just chat with them. By the time we get off the plane, we got a telephone number of 8 different people. Okay, so that's how you know that people. They may not come to receive that all the time, but they should get an opportunity to know the people. And then you can go from there, see what happens. At least one person, they don't came from she came over to receive that after all this opportunity. So just do it. Don't even think about results. Sometimes we feel uncomfortable to try it, and once we start to do it, we'll be more comfortable. And then
Right.
sometimes we don't know how to do it, just bring it here to eat a lunch. So,
Yeah.
come with me, and then the other lecturers or others to talk, to share with them about that for us.
Right. If we don't feel comfortable talking about it, we can always just use the lunch, the vegetarian lunch as an example to come in, okay? And you can inform a lecturer to ahead of time that I'm bringing so and so, but please tell them their background, okay? How difficult it was for you to ask them, whatever information you can give will help us to talk to them better. All right? So always keep that in mind. Okay. So number 4. This is a place where we can respect and follow the seniors and guide the juniors. Confucius has 4 books called The Great Learning, The Analects, Doctrine of the Means, and Mencius. And in The Great Learning, Confucius said, wishing to govern their states well, they harmonize their families first. In other words, before anything that we do outside of the home, we must have family harmony at home first. So in other words, if someone at home objects us to coming into the temple, we must make sure they will not object before we come in. So we don't want to create chaos at home, because coming into the temple then has no meaning. Make sure everything at home is at peace before we come in. If they don't agree for us to come every week, maybe every other week, or maybe once a month. Make sure they are happy before we can come out. All right? So gradually, once they know, this temple changed us, by us, showing and manifesting what we learned in class, they see the good change in us, they will agree, someday to even come with you. So isn't that wonderful? Make sure everything at home is harmonized. At the same time, this is a home of God, a temple. So we are all brothers and sisters in this temple. So this is a second home for us. So in this home, we also must make sure there's harmony in this home. Everybody getting along with other people. Of course, there's going to be many, many conflicts. Many. Because we are all still human beings. We can't act like Buddhas, otherwise we will be Buddhas already. Lots of us are still using our human heart to deal with matters. So a lot of times we have to learn to forgive. Forgiving is one of the highest virtue and a very difficult virtue to attain. But we try. We try to forgive for others' wrongdoings and don't hold grudges. So this is also very important to be in harmony. Otherwise, then it will be very difficult for new members to come in and agree to receive this Tao. And also, after they receive the Tao, if they see harmony in the temple, they will love to come every Sunday. That is the difference between harmony and no harmony. Now, number 5, a temple can provide Tao members with a place where we can gather to practice and propagate Tao. A temple contains all 4 essential elements for cultivation: finance, dharma, companions, and place. With the guidance of our seniors, all members will work as a team to plan for Tao affairs, share out the work, and cooperate with one another. We cultivate and we propagate Tao together. We are not only saving sentient beings. Through the process, we can also broaden our capacity to tolerate and forgive one another. All members are able to participate in spreading Tao, and we have a sense of belonging and achievement here. This way all will grow and progress together. Number 6, we can be shielded by the radiance of Buddhas, be wise and escape calamities. In the temple with the radiance of the Buddhas, the mercy of our Jinggong Jusi, who is the 17th patriarch, the center statue on the upper table in the small temple, and the protection of our 18th patriarch and matriarch. The upper table, the statue on the right is our 18th patriarch, statue on the left is our 18th matriarch. They are also the incarnation of our Jigong Buddha, who is on the right side of the big temple, and our 18th matriarch is the incarnation of our Bodhisattva of Moon Wisdom, who is the statue on the left side in the big temple. Okay, so when we look at these dignified forms of saints and Buddhas with respect, we inwardly examine ourselves and would naturally be encouraged to emulate all the saints and Buddhas. We would naturally strive to improve ourselves. By joining in the cultivation of Tao and assisting in Tao affair, we would certainly become wiser and accumulate merits and virtues. Then blessings would rest on us. Negative karma would gradually part from us. Disasters and trouble would naturally go far away. God help those who help themselves. Okay. On the journey of sincere cultivation and assisting with propagating the truth, we are already serving the public. Heaven will guard and protect us as a reward. If we have a temple at home, if we invite Lao Mu, who is our Almighty God, in our home, okay, isn't that wonderful? To have God come in to our own home and to bless our own home, okay? And we bathe in the radiance of all the Buddhas and practice the three treasures in our home temple. We will become carefree and we will be peaceful in our daily life. Isn't that wonderful? Okay? Normally, we're asking for peace, we don't get it. But by setting up a home temple, always having God and the Buddhas around. Okay? So that would be a great benefit. If we encounter a disaster, we would naturally be protected by God and all the Buddhas. Okay, so a temple also has an invisible purple light or whatever other colors, I don't know what other colors, but a temple, whether it's home or a public temple like this, always will have an illuminating light on shining. We can see it, heaven sees it. Okay, so when calamity hits, our temple will be safe first, and all those in it. Okay, for example, there are many revelations in the temple, in the Tao temple, pertaining to such a Buddha protection. Example, if one remembers the tsunami in Thailand in 2004, that was a horrific calamity, right? Now, correct me, gentlemen, if I am missing something, because I vaguely remember the story.
That's a good story.
Yeah. So what Holy Teacher said, there was a home temple in this tsunami. 2 children were in the home temple.
All right.
They called their mom at work. Mom, the water.
Mom was in temple.
Mom was at work.
Temple. Yeah.
Mom was in the temple. No, I think mom was at work.
Okay.
Yeah, mom was at work. So they called the mom. The water is coming in. What do we do? What do we do? The mom advised them, calm down, use the 3 treasures, kowtow to Buddhas to help, and recite Mila Zhenjing. Okay, Mila Zhenjing is one of the sutras from Happy Buddha. Okay, so the 2 children did that, and the water went around their home. It did not even go in. Not one drop of water. Think about that. Okay? Isn't that wonderful to set up a home temple when calamity hits?
And the Holy Teacher mentioned this in Dhammakaya, the true story. The Holy Teacher mentioned it in Dhammakaya in Thailand. said this is what happened. And then the kids went to the temple to take a bath, and teacher said, you see what happened there? See, the temple saved those 2 kids.
Yeah, just to prove to you how important it is and what are one of the biggest benefit that we can gain, okay, from setting up a home temple. Okay, of course, there are many, many other situations where these type of protections can happen. Okay. Also, every day we do the rituals. We also have God's holy water. We can accumulate this holy water. Okay, I personally learned from Ty's mom. Okay, she's already an immortal, so she taught me to accumulate them into water bottles. I have at least over 20 bottles. I recycle them. Every time I finish one, I drink an old bottle. Okay. The reason for accumulating these holy water, when calamity hits, we have no water, not one drop of water to drink. Ty's mom told me 1 drop in the mouth is sufficient for the whole day. See how important it is? Are you accumulating the holy water, Joe? Yes. Okay.
We don't know how long.
Okay, I recycle it. You don't leave it there for 5 years. When you finish 1 bottle, you drink an old bottle.
There's a paragraph Holy Teacher mentioned about those areas, and then Holy Teacher encouraged the temple host, the holy water on the 15th and 1st of the month, share with our town members.
You can give it to your neighbors.
Or maybe bring the temple to the town members. 4th and 15th, share with all the members. And then Holy Teacher, we see the Christine Chip's mom, Judy. We have one whole paragraph. Holy Teacher mentioned how to do.
Bottles, 3 big bottles, okay? Big container. We save for 3 big containers. Whatever you want, okay?
You don't need too much because it keeps.
3 of them. And then, the first step, the master, the 15, we just give to all the last members.
Holy Teacher mentioned how to do.
So always 3.
Three bottles.
Yeah, 3 big bottles. That's it.
Yeah, we like our house, our temple, we saved so many. By the time we saw the paragraph, Holy Teacher mentioned what to do, I said, oh, we should have known this a long time ago. You know?
Well, I save 20 bottles and I recycle it. Okay, I keep drinking it, and then this way it doesn't sit there for 2-3 years. I keep drinking it. Okay, and you can share with other people too.
Yeah, regarding the length of time we can keep it in, because in that tournament, we can save it for a long time, and so long we keep it in a bottle, and all we did was just, of course, the bottle was cleaned out. We cap it and seal it. It's been around for over 10 years.
It's okay.
Keep making it.
Judy, you should have sent it back.
We boil it, man, we still turn it out.
Well, just be safe. Okay, what happens is if your seal is not a good seal, and if your bottle happens to be not 100% clean, okay, you will find some it's almost like water mold that goes in the water. Okay, but you can't see it. It's very whitish clear. You may get that. Okay, and according to one of the talents, the talent we had long ago, she accidentally drank some, and then she didn't know what it was. She just swallowed it. But ideally, is that we just put it through a coffee filter, for example.
Or a water
And
filter.
then we take, water filter, and then we just boil the water, and then it can be.
I think Judy.
Kill you,
I
man.
know.
However, the most important thing is keep it away from the sun.
Yes.
If you have it under the sun, then green fungus will grow inside algae, green algae.
But I think Judy should send a paragraph, all things Holy Teacher said what to do. share with everybody else. That's very important paragraph. Because I saw that, I saw, wow, I should know.
I use the one that I bring here. Yeah, the Poland spring water bottles. I use those.
Yeah, they probably don't want to keep more than a year.
We got, we got a big bottle.
Yeah, I keep recycling it.
Don't,
We have years,
don't
we
last.
have years.
Unless you buy glass water. Yeah, glass bottle. The ideal thing is to use big glass jars. Okay, maybe we can go buy glass jars and save it in there. But keep it away from the sun.
Yeah, don't-
Just 3 bottles, that's it, 3 bottles, that's what you use.
well, I mean, no, well, it depends on the amount, the size of the
But
bottle.
you have a big bottle, right? You keep half, you can fill the other water back, you get full. Right? As long as don't go to the bottom, half bottle, half the bottle, then you can fill up the clean water and then fill up become full bottle again. So that's how you do it. Okay.
Yeah, share it with those that don't have a temple.
Yeah.
All right. So this way, when they don't feel well or they're sick, it can also help us.
Because
Get
after
better.
you save those bottles for years, you can see, that's what we have for 8 years, 10 years. Okay, you can see the underneath. They can see the certain things underneath.
Yeah, that's why you gotta filter it through the water filter.
That's why you don't want to. We didn't know how to do with those waters. Okay, until we saw the teacher, holy teachers tell us what to do. So I
So
said, wow.
that's why it's better to use smaller bottles.
Containers clean, make sure the
Smaller
bottle.
Yeah. Don't use like,
Here's some bottle,
don't use bottle from juice.
Yeah.
nothing.
Well, if you clean it,
Yeah, but still there's an odor.
Years, you're gonna have some
it's
stuff.
just flavored water.
Flavored water.
Okay.
Okay, some question here.
Yes, Guy.
What makes the water go from regular water to holy water? Does it have to come from a temple? Does it have to be blessed by the Buddha?
It's blessed by God. Okay, we save the clear water. We don't save the tea. The tea, we drink it every day after we bring it down from the altar. All right? But the water has been blessed by God. Okay?
Each day.
Yeah, that water you cannot buy in the outside world. Okay? Even if you pay $1 million, you cannot get it.
You pay $1 million, you get it.
Oh, come back to the next thing. Talk about tea, right? You know what? My house, we always drink the tea maybe in a few days later. Okay, 1 day later, we even cook. Holy teacher says, tea got to drink on the same day. Don't put the tea overnight. Okay, no good. Okay? So a lot of things we need to learn that.
Yeah, holy teacher said if we keep it overnight, we use that holy tea to water the plants. Okay, or you can take it to your garden and
Yeah.
water the.
Okay. You're going to drink the same day. Okay?
Yeah,
So those are things we need to, teachers talk about in this paragraph.
right.
We need to know.
Okay, any more questions? Okay.
Good discussion.
Okay, now number 7. Those who serve in the temple will be rewarded in heaven. In order to attain Buddhahood or to achieve heavenly high rank has nothing to do with one's social status or academic background. In this earthly world, it depends totally on one's true merit and virtue. As the Buddha's teaching goes, our position in heaven is dependent on our contribution on earth. So we cannot attain anything in heaven if we fail to give anything on earth. So keep that in mind. Okay, what we give today is what we will get later in heaven. Okay, the merit of establishing a Tao temple is quite extraordinary. Not only can we be temple hosts, but we also have opportunities to help heaven fulfill our vows and create chances for getting merits. We can also be a heavenly messenger and be a broadcaster for heaven on earth. The temple host will be an example to others without complaint and sincerely persevere to accumulate merits and virtues. We certainly complete our cultivation this way. So, setting up a temple, like Transmitter Ling had mentioned before, whether it's public or a home temple, will earn 1,300 merits.
Private temple, not public. Public, you got to know how many members are there.
No, home temple.
Home temple.
Home temple. Home temple is 1,300 merits.
You're a third of the way there, man.
Okay. However, we don't think about the marriage. We just establish it. Okay. We don't think, oh, I want to establish to get 1,300 married. We don't think about it. All right. We just establish it from the sincerity of our heart and mind. Now, to attain Tao, we have to earn a total of 3,000 merits and 800 achievement. That means, okay, a total of 3,800 merits in order to reach
800 achievements，
800 achievement.
800是 achievements， 4 means achievement。
Okay. And that also means that we have to pay back all our debts at the same time.
Yeah, we have to pay back our, that's on top of paying back our debt.
We all have debt here, otherwise we wouldn't reincarnate into this human world. Okay, we all have debt. We must pay back all our debts. How do we pay back? Through what? The merits that I have mentioned before. Okay, we pay with our merits. Okay? So now when we set up the temple, we have proprieties that comes with the temple. Morning and evening rituals starting from 5 to 7 a.m. and again 5 to 7 p.m. Okay? We also have special saints' holidays like their birthday, the day they receive the Tao, the day they attain the Tao. We also have the 1st and the 15th of the lunar calendar that we must perform proprieties for. So we got to learn all these, okay? So there's a calendar on the website, our website, happybuddha.org. We can print out that calendar and follow it. I think it's end of class. Okay, so this way, okay, we have to perform all these rituals, but however, do not let these rituals be the reason why we are not establishing a temple. The benefits outweighs all the responsibilities, okay? So think about it. Okay, I just want to take 5 minutes of the next class to finish off because I didn't get a chance to let everybody know. In order to set up a home temple,
I should have peeled this thing.
No, don't peel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you have to take off the cap.
in order to set up a home temple, at least one person, one temple host at home must be a full vegetarian, meaning they took a vegetarian vow. Okay? One person, because they have to do the incense
How do you peel
offering morning and evening. At least one person.
think
On
I'm
top
gonna-
of that, when we set up a temple, we do not have to own a home in order to set it. We can rent an apartment. Okay? However, we must make sure the apartment building doesn't have a bylaw that says no burning odor, because the incense will have a strong odor. Because I know my son's apartment building, they will fine you $1,000 if you burn something in the apartment.
But you can buy incense that are very short and also have no smell or very little smell. They're different because a lot of incense sticks have different types. They're different types.
Okay.
You can go to those hippie shops. They
Okay.
have incense.
Phoebe?
Hippie shops. Yeah, hippie shops. They have those.
No, you have to burn incense. Okay? So just be careful. So we do not have to own a house. We can set up a temple with a rented apartment. Okay? Now, once we set up a temple, we cannot close it. You say, oh, after 3 months, oh, I'm not happy doing this. I'm just going to close my temple. Okay? It's not going to work. Once we set it up, it must be there for the rest of your life. You got it?
Our life.
For the rest of our life. Okay? So keep that in mind when we set up a temple. Okay?
We cannot close it.
We cannot close it.
If
You can
rent
move
a
it.
place,
Yeah, you can move. Let's say you rented this place and you bought a house, you're going to move it. Now, when you move it, you have to have another ceremony to establish the temple because it's in a different location.
That's what we're going to do. We are in New Jersey right now. We're going to move to Texas. And so we're going to move whole temple there. Yeah. So So we
Okay.
set up.
Okay, so now I turn the class
Anybody has
to
question regarding the temple? This is a very important topic. Thanks for lecture, Jean, talk about details. Very, very, very important.
Pass on to children.
yes. The ideal thing is to pass it down to your children. However, you cannot force it either. Okay, if you force them and then they're not happy, they're going to close it. It's not going to do you any justice.
I think for some people who if children continue, if children don't continue, somebody else in the temple member maybe can continue these temples. Okay, so when time comes, we worry about that. But the children can continue. That's one of the best, better than the $1 million because
Yeah.
the way they continue, their parents and sister will benefit from those. That's why our gene transmitter, his father become the protection law immortal. Why? Because they have a temple at home, and then all the kids are. See, we have 2 lectures, one transmitter, 3 kids. They push the grandparents beside our gene senior transmitter. They push the grandpa all the way up, become immortal.
Because
Right.
he's benefiting for whatever they do in this earthly realm.
Yeah, so their grandpa, you see that their grandpa, he did not receive the that. And he did not receive that, yes. He did not even receive, he was power.
He was uplifted.
See that? Becomes immortal. Sense, wow, that's very special, right? No, almost mission impossible, right? Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah,
All about by
the gene master, gene transmitter. Wow, see that? Now he's immortal.
You don't have to receive the sound to become immortal.
Oh, no, but your kids got to be able to cultivate enough merit. You don't have merit, you cannot push them. Yeah. So that's the bad thing. Happen, kids can continue with the cultivation. That can happen to the family. Yep, thank you. Anybody has other question? I think it's a very important topic. We should know that. Okay. And then once we start to establish the temple, we need to follow the time. 5 to 7 to do the incense ceremony. Then sometimes I remember the lecture Kai always try to run home to do the incense ceremony at home in New Jersey. Holy teacher tell him no. And also we do the incense ceremony here on this day at night time. If we do here, we don't have to go home and do it. So you do one here or you don't do it either way.
However,
Yeah.
when we leave the home temple and when we come back, we have to do the arrival and the departure
All the
prayer
time.
all the time.
Yeah. And then-
Okay?
That's important. I remember one experience to share with. I remember when we set up the temple. At that time, this went back about 17, 18 years ago. It's a very long time. But at that time, I was so go to bed late, get up late. So I always late to the incense ceremony. Always late. First, tell you, always late in the beginning. You know what? During the Dharma class, Sir Prince started to talk to me. Okay, we're gonna review your vow. And the holy teacher said, pay attention.
Supervise. They say supervise
And then,
your vow.
every morning you do the incense ceremony. You don't see nobody, right? You just do it, right? So you think Buddha is there. But when I was late, Buddha knew it. He told me during the Dharma class. See what I mean? So every day they were there. We just couldn't see them. And we do have one temple master. We have a big temple, big land in New Jersey, West Milford. You remember? Then every day he was so hard. We are lucky to have him. 40 acres land with a temple there. We used to have in New Jersey. So he took care of whole land. Very hard job. We don't have people to help him. So he always prayed in the morning, Holy teacher, help me, bring some people to help him. Okay, all the time. And the teacher came into Dharma class
没有注意听。
every morning, all the time, yeah, begging for help from the Buddha knew that. We always didn't pay attention, right? But they are there every day. Okay? So we have to be careful there. So what do we do? Especially in temple, what we dress, what we do, you are like a family, like a public temple. You cannot dress sleeping clothes in the temple. So every little thing is a secret. But besides the temple, you go to your personal area they have. In temple we use this.
Yeah, you can set it up in your main living room,
Yeah.
or you can give up one bedroom
Yeah.
or one office room, one room, and use that room for a temple. So if you don't want your life to be too disrupted, then it's better to keep it in a room where you close the door and you can live a normal life. If you have it in the living room, you must be careful. Do not walk into the temple area with your PJs. Okay, be careful.
How many temples did our holy teacher expect us to set up?
28.
How about we still have to go?
I don't know. Maybe 12. We have
No,
I
up
still
to
need
12.
like 20 probably.
we were very close to 20.
Ah.
Not 20 yet.
I mean,
No.
probably need 20.
No, so the
Well,
holy teacher didn't
didn't
say the
say.
time. Okay, he
The
said.
reason why 28 is because when we did the scriptures, every mistake we made with the writing of the word, every mistake equals to one temple. That's why in total 28 temples.
We're pretty bad, right?
We were bad.
So 28 is from that time 28, does not
Not
count.
before that. Okay, from
Yeah, from that time, the first one,
So it's more than
was
that.
Lecture Lu's temple. That was the first one.
Yeah.
So every temple that was established afterwards, I am within one of them,
Yeah.
is considered within that 28. And Jill is also with. Jill was the last
Most
one,
recent.
the most recent temple established.
I think we had one sister of
Bong, yeah,
she made a vow this time. She said she want to set up a temple
yeah,
in
in
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wu Jie is also in
Yeah.
there. Also, the California temples are in there.
We about, I would say, pretty close to 20, less than 20 to go.
Less than 20 to go.
Yeah, 20.
We have a lot. So if you want to be among the 28, okay, you think about it and you let us know.
Carrie,
Carrie,
But
I
28,
have been trying for the last 2 years to push her.
anybody knows why 28? 28星宿 28 star. I think those temple must be from heaven and the star. 28 star.
Originally, the number wasn't 28. Wasn't the original number like 18 or something? And then in the second Dharma class, that's when the teacher increased it to 28. There were more mistakes. That's what happened. I remember.
Teacher knows our potential.
Yeah,
You know what we can do
Right.
to help this world.
right.
Okay, the more temple we have, we can save all the disasters.
Yeah.
So teacher encourage us to do more, put a volunteer to help.
San
all the
Diego.
Indian. Yeah.
Yeah, San Diego is in there. I actually kept the list.
Oh, yeah, good for you.
I put down all the names.
Next time,
Yeah,
let us know the list.
Okay.
How many to go?
yeah. Next week I have it in my old phone, not in this phone.
No, I don't want to know.
So people can receive the Tao at your home temple?
Oh yes,
So
yes.
what's the requirements for you to be able to?
Set up.
Set up.
Yeah, that's good.
Number one, you must be a vegetarian.
We must.
We must be a vegetarian.
Okay. that's
One
good.
person as a
Yeah,
temple
in the
host,
family.
because
In the family.
the person that do the incense offering must be a vegetarian.
One person.
Okay, so the ideal thing is to learn most of the rituals before, because no one will be home to teach you. Okay, I usually train people on the phone. Okay, but the ideal thing is for you to learn as much as you can with all the rituals before you set it. Johnny is also thinking about it. He already took a vow.
So does the transmitter have to come to
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
your house, right?
if you have a Tao ceremony, you call somebody or you can call Ty. He will arrange for a transmitter to come to wherever your house is. If it's in New Jersey, then a transmitter from New Jersey will come. If it's in New York, a transmitter from New York will come.
There's a very special ceremony process we go through.
Yeah,
Okay, it's not regular. Usually we want our senior gene master to help to come over to set up for us. Okay, so that's why we're going to transfer to New Jersey. Then we move the temple from New Jersey to Texas. We wish our senior master Gene and also the other master and all of us, all of you, can come at any moment. But we will see time will.
yeah. The
might take
reason
time.
why transmitter link is moving from New Jersey to Dallas, Texas, is he's propagating the Tao into an area where there is not our line of temple. He's establishing a temple there, so he's propagating the Tao, pioneering the Tao. That is why. Okay, you can do the same later on in your life. Okay, everyone can do that. It's up to the individual. Okay.
There's a lot of like principles we have to understand
Yeah.
first. You know, rules, regulations of temple, all those things. Yeah.
But before, I think we set up temple, usually the Tao Affair Center of our temple will review the situation. And also, after approval, we will spend maybe 1 hour, go through all the details, what the rules of the temple have to go through. So I think individually, the temple host will know what to do. Otherwise, we don't want the person set up a temple and then doesn't know what to do, and then will not be good.
Yeah, because you're a temple host, you're supposed to know all these. Okay, you gotta learn what your responsibility is as a temple host.
And once the temple set up, the temple is not personal property anymore. It belongs to God, belongs to Buddha. So anybody can come into this temple because their location is Buddha and God's location. It's a temple by the God, owned by the God. So anybody can come into this temple. That's not our own personal property anymore. So we got to think differently. We welcome everybody coming into the temple, pray, worship the Buddhas. So any day they come in, we're so happy to see them. That we are seeing the Buddha. So we
Remember when you have a Tao ceremony, God and all the things of Buddha are present in your home temple, your home. Okay, don't you want that?
I already have an altar at home.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Think about it.
For a long
Okay.
time.
Yeah, we can start teaching you all the proprieties. You learn a little bit of time to learn. Yeah.
Takes time to get there.
Start career. Johnny is doing that. He's going to be establishing. He took the vow a year and a half ago. So within 3 years after he took the vow, he has to establish a temple. But you don't have to take a vow before you establish. You can take the vow when you establish.
Either way.
Okay? Either way is